Today, I want to talk about how motivation is often misused. We think that we need more motivation, but what we need is discipline. There's a lot of people that also nowadays take like ADHD medication or all those medication. But in reality, in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 quick steps or technique in order to maximize your focus and productivity. So stay with me. And in this video, we're going to see all those techniques. And at the end, you'll be way more productive, which going to end up with way more result at the end of the year 2024.
If you don't know who I am, my name is Mike Shabbat and I'm a coach for CEO and entrepreneur. I help my client to have more result in their business while keeping abundance in their whole life. And by applying those techniques that I'm going to show you in this video, I'm going to tell you how some client went from 500,000 a year within 1 year to 2 million, or some client were making 10,000 a month when they started with me and now they make more than $200,000 a month. Whatever is your financial goal or your goal in life, those techniques will help you to have what we call discipline, okay? When I was young, you're probably like me, I thought that motivation was the key, and I struggled for years. Even now to this day, if I don't apply the discipline and the technique that I show in this video, I cannot have the result that I want in my life. And everybody can fall off track. But if you come back and stick to those steps, I can assure you that you're gonna have the life that you want, okay? It's very simple. You're here and the result that you want are here. And now what we want to do is help you to bridge the gap from going to this identity to this identity. I'm a coach, and what I do is identity shifting. This is the main thing. So in order to become that person, I brought it down to becoming that version of yourself. How would that version of yourself do it? And motivation, a lot of my clients ask me, how do you stay motivated daily? And I don't. It's not every day that you want to do the cold plunge. It's not every day that you want to work. It's not every day that you want to go to the gym. But by applying those specific techniques, you can trust me, your result will quantum leap. Now let's start at the first, okay? The first one is called mental contrasting. You can also call it the WOOP, WOOP, not WOOP like the band. So what is mental contrasting? It's basically going from this point to this point, and you want to do it in your mind. So you can do a mind movie, you can do a vision board. It's basically seeing yourself going to that result, to that identity, to the process, to the end goal, let's say it like that. And it's not only positive thinking, because positive thinking, it might get you to the goal. So let's say I have positive thinking for having the car, the money, whatever I want to achieve in my life. And the only thing in that is I'm fantasizing only on the goal. Now I need to also enjoy the process, because that's when it's going to get complicated, when I need to show up every day and I don't necessarily want to show up every day. So this method, study has proven that it's seeing what is going to be the end result, getting the emotion, and enhancing yourself and kind of fantasizing on the result while also acknowledging what is the process in going. And I also call him informed optimism, okay? So you see in this picture, we call it a transition curve. And at some point, it's at the beginning when you don't know what you get into. But at some point, you will know that in order to be a coach, it's not only going to provide you a lot of money, because let's say in the coaching industry, they say that you can make hundreds of thousands a month. But at the beginning, you don't know what comes with the job, what you're going to need to do. Do you going to need to record content? Do you going to need to coach client? You're going to need to have landing page. So all the thing that you need to do, all the process, you also need to be aware of it in order to enjoy the process and not only fantasizing on the goals. So mental contrasting is basically seeing both ends, what could be good and what could not be good, okay? So like positive and negative. And I call it best case scenario and worst case scenario. It's like, if you decide to take this action, what would be the negative stuff? What would be the things that you wouldn't enjoy? And now that you're aware of, it also helps your subconscious mind to make it not a big deal. It's like, it's okay, I'm gonna need to do those actions. Now, if I do those actions, what is the best case scenario? And the best case scenario is what we talked at the beginning of the video, is becoming that thing, becoming that version of yourself and having everything you want materially, the love, the relationship, whatever you want and you desire in this life, okay? And when I said the WOOP, remember, it's wish. So what do you wish? What is the outcome, basically? What is the obstacle? And what is the planning? So what are you going to do about it? And once you're aware of everything, it's basically like on the transition curve, it's informed optimism. So now you know it's good, but you know that it's going to be obstacle and you're okay with the process. Now the second one, okay, of the MCII method, because number one and number two in studies are linked. It's called implementation intention. Sorry, my English. I just call it habit stacking. Okay, so if you read the book Atomic Habit, he call it habit stacking, and for me it's way easier. If X happen, I will do Y. So let's say I'm a guy that have trouble taking supplements in the morning. I always forget it, but I'm a coffee guy and I would take my coffee every day. Now, when I'm gonna take my coffee, I'm gonna take my supplements. When I'm gonna brush my teeth, I'm gonna floss. When I'm gonna do some reading, I love reading books, I'm also gonna drink water. So you stack habit in order not to forget. While I'm gonna, let's say, review the end of the day, I'm also gonna do my to-do list for the next day. So you combine one habit that you're really good at with another habit that you might not be as good at. And this is the best way to do it, okay? And you can also reward yourself. So let's say that you love watching Netflix. That is not necessarily a habit that is good for you, but let's say you love watching podcasts or stuff like that, education, and you don't love running or doing treadmill or doing activity or biking. What you can do is basically you do bicycle or running or an exercise while you are listening or watching a podcast. So you stack habit. Could be a pleasant one with a less pleasant one. Could be one that you're really good with, one that you're not as good. And study have shown that by doing that, it also gonna help your result dramatically. Third one is called optimizing workflow. And there's a really cool study, okay, by Bruce Lipton. Bruce Lipton is a doctor, as a PhD, and he was a genetic doctor. And a lot of people think that we're condemned by our gene, but actually Bruce Lipton has proven that the environment, which is epigenetic, okay, is what condition our self, our mind, our subconscious mind, our genes. We, as human beings, are energy and we respond to the environment, okay? So what is your environment? And basically, optimizing workflow just means design your environment to make it very easy to do the thing that you want to do and make it very hard to do the thing that you don't want to do, okay? So let's say I want to work out, right? I can prepare my clothes. So when I'm gonna wake up, let's say I wanna introduce that new habit in the morning, okay? I'm gonna make it super easy. I'm gonna have this shirt, I'm gonna have my short, I'm gonna have my shoes, and everything is gonna be ready by the door with my bottle of water, my supplements, my pre-workout, everything I want. I'm gonna get it ready so that there's no mental obstacle when I wake up of like, oh, I need to choose my clothes, I need to do this. It's like, let's go. We have a limited amount of decision in a day, so we don't wanna waste them on that stuff. And at the end of the day, then our brain is already exhausted. We already took the important decision. So then we can just pick clothes, do things for the next day. Same with a to-do list. So for me, I was never a big to-do list guy, okay? But it was preventing me from achieving my result because it was chaos in my mind. Every time I was arriving in front of the computer, I was like, what do I need to do today? And then it creates friction. It's harder to start, and then you get the blank page phenomenon, which is basically you get stuck and then it takes 20-30 minutes before you get in the flow and then you start working. Versus when you have the to-do list, you know what is the big task of the day, like the must be done, okay? That must be done of the day is eating the frog. Is like, today I'm recording this video and it's one of the tasks at the end of the day, okay? Like once I've done main work. And the main work was, let's say, editing a podcast. The main work was finishing uploading something for my course, the mindset course, the social media course, whatever it was, the task of the day. I go in order and I make sure that if I have more time, if I finish some task earlier, I still have other tasks, but they're not necessarily necessary for the day. So I go, must be done, essential, and important. And then if some tasks are added, it doesn't really matter. And by doing so, that's how you're gonna optimize. It's like, what is your environment? How can you make your environment better? I used to be a fitness trainer for celebrity, right? And people have big struggle with nutrition. But there's a saying that says, you won't cheat on your diet if you don't have treats or something to cheat on your diet at home. So let's say that you need you don't buy chocolate, you don't buy chip, you don't buy ice cream, and you're craving it, the likelihood of you driving to the store to going to get it versus just walking to your fridge, opening and trying to resist the temptation is going to be way different. So I don't carry any treat at home. And sometime when I'm relaxing with the wifey, we're going to go buy an ice cream or we're going to go buy something like a little treat, but it's only going to be for that night. And the process is hard. You know, when I said you create friction, if you don't have it, the friction is you need to dress, you need to go in the car, you need to drive to the store, you need to buy it, you need to come back. So there's a lot of steps involved versus I open the jar, I grab whatever I want, and I start cheating on my diet. Same thing, if you pre-prep your meal, then when you're gonna open the fridge, the chances of you just picking up a healthy meal that is already done versus trying to snack on some stuff, if it's already done, it's easy. But if you have to cook and make everything, while you're tired, it's increasing the friction. So question would be, what is something that you're struggling with in discipline, okay? And how can you improve the environment? How can you improve and make it easier for yourself? And how can you make your environment to optimize your task and make it easier for you? So when I created the new routine for 2024, I made everything around the seasons I'm in. Right now is work. I wanna optimize my business. I wanna focus this year 100% focus on work. So I'm gonna optimize my routine and my schedule based on work. And sometime it's gonna be around something else. Let's say you're already very successful and you wanna optimize it around your family. Make it easy. And remember, if you're addicted to your phone, if you're addicted to distraction, at my house, I'm a gamer and I used to have a tendency to be always on my phone. So when I work, my phone are on the other table. Like, if you don't believe me, I have a whole other setup right here. You see? So I have a whole other setup that is for gaming, and my phone is on that table. The games are in there. Now I don't play for the first few months. That's a pact I made with myself. But if I wanted to play, it's a whole different work setup. And this work setup here is for my work only. So I don't get distracted. I don't feel temptation. I make it hard. The computer is closed. The games are not even installed. They're another SSD. My phone is on Do Not Disturb every time I work. So you see, I create friction for the thing that would distract me normally. The third one is called monitoring and tracking. What get measured, get managed, okay? Same thing as in fitness. If I want to improve my sleep, if I want to improve anything, I track it. With WOOP, I track everything. I'm going to track my sleep. I'm going to track when I wake up. I'm going to track how many hours I slept. I'm going to track my health, my heartbeat, my heart ratio variability, my recuperation, whatever I need to track. Also, I'm going to track my work. I'm going to have a to-do list. You can use application like Streak. You can use Yolti Self. Like, there's so many apps that you can just make it fun and do your checklist and check your habit. You can use Notion. You can use Airtable, whatever you want, but you need to make sure to track. When I had fitness client, if they take picture regularly, if they track their weight, if they track their weight at the gym, like their set, their PR, if they track stuff, then they improve. If you just go with the flow, there's a high chance that you won't improve, that you won't push yourself. And trust me, I've been training for 16 years, and if I don't have a specific program and I don't mark my weight and I don't do everything like tracking wise, I'm not really improving. If I just go with the flow, then I'm gonna maintain the actual physique that I have. So when you track stuff, you're gonna be way ahead of the curve. It's also on your vision board. You know, when we're saying like, you wanna become that person. Let's say that person has a business that makes 200,000 a year, right? That's around like, let's say 20,000 a month. Let's round up number. So what do I need to do in order to achieve that 20,000 a month? And then I can break it down monthly, weekly, daily, and I can track it. How much am I this month in terms of sales, in terms of progress to my $20,000 goal? And then by tracking it, you can improve. Okay, what did I do good? And what made me the most money last month? And what can I improve in order to reach that goal, or to get as close as possible, or to get above that goal, okay? So by asking those questions, you're gonna make sure that you're tracking your progress and you're having the result that you want. And you don't wanna react to life, okay? What you see here, it's one thing I teach in my course, and it's basically responding to life and not reacting. So when you're reacting, is the environment is happening to you and you're just reacting. You're getting caught off guard. The other one is you're responding to life. So you decide what is the action that you're gonna do. Then you analyze, which you track, what is the result based on those actions? What is the external result that you get based on the decision that you made? And then thoughts and feeling, how do you feel and how the result are aligned with the person you want to be? And then you're going to adjust your action, your to-do list, your daily stuff. And this will keep you disciplined, okay? Because you're tracking everything. And then you respond and the circle go back. Now, the last one, as you know, it's gamify. Make it fun, guys. I'm a gamer. And the main thing why gaming is fun is because it hit your serotonin and your dopamine level. So let's say you play a video game and your character is leveling, you're equipping gear, you're doing stuff, okay? You're having a sense of completion, of progress in the game. You're like, I'm completing quests, I'm doing those things. It's like my character is getting stronger. So your brain is having a sensory stuff and you're seeing progress. Not only that you're tracking, you see it visually on the screen. So the thing is, how can you gamify? Apps are really good. Like if you do a to-do list, you check a to-do list, you can use Trello that you just switch things as you complete them. But try to make it fun, because if you're only focused on the end result, I'm telling you, it's not gonna be enough. And we're all like that. If we're only focused on the end goal, all the negative stuff or all the small tasks, the titty task that we don't wanna do is gonna cause us pain, and we're gonna be like, damn, the goal isn't worth it. This Lamborghini doesn't worth it. The yacht, the traveling, like it's not gonna be enough. So if you do enjoy the process, if I enjoy training, there's a higher chance that I become with a great physique because I love going to the gym, or I make it fun. If I don't love the gym, I find another way to train, maybe calisthenic, maybe yoga, whatever it is for me that I enjoy, okay? So one thing I can suggest is 5 quick questions. What would this look like if it were fun? So let's say I'm doing video recording, or I'm doing those videos for you. So how do I make it fun to create that content? Well, I enjoy reading. I enjoy, as you can see, I have a lot of books. I enjoy research. I enjoy educating. So I'm gonna do research. I'm gonna learn on some topic. I'm gonna take some note on the screen that I have here, a screen that I have here. And then I'm gonna share those things with you. So I did some research. I learned new things, which I enjoy. I feel a sense of progress. And then I'm recording the video. So that's how content creation can be fun. The next thing is, how can I make this task more fun? So maybe I'm standing, maybe I crank myself with some music before, maybe I do things like that to make the task more fun. Maybe I record with someone else, maybe like I do podcasts, like whatever you feel like doing, you find a way to make those tasks more fun, okay? Let's say I said what type of music would get me in the mood. So in my hour of power in the morning, when I crank myself up and I do the meditation, the song is very like instrumental, like uplifting beat, because I want to make sure that I put myself in a higher mood for the day. You can play whatever song you want, you get yourself in the mood, and then you're like, okay, let's do it. I choose to do it, right? Could I change my environment or have a work partner? Sometime I'm tired, I don't want to work, so Sally come work on the other computer that I have here. She has her own office, the wifey, but sometimes we do work session together. You could be with a friend, you could go to a coffee shop, you could go to a WeWork, like a workspace. How can you change your environment in order to motivate you to work? I know one of my friends can't work at home or have a hard time getting started. So every morning, he does his routine for 30, 40 minutes, then straight to the coffee shop, and he stay there for 4 or 5 hours, and he just work, because he needs to be in an environment that he feels motivated, an environment that is not home, okay? That's his tricks. And then the last one, could I add a creative element to my work or something I enjoy doing in the process? So let's say that I enjoy video editing, then maybe recording the content for me is not that fun, but I can have fun adding element or stuff in the back, or sound, or making this video as entertaining as possible. As you can see, It's not necessarily my thing to video edit. I make it pretty simple, but if you were to enjoy the process and you want to play with it, then do it. It could be hiring employee. Maybe you can find a way to have a creative, to make charts, to make, I know one of my friends use Airtable, and he has chart to track every aspect of his life because he likes this gaming type of stuff, and he tracks and he put, how did I do for my day from 0 to 10? What could I improve? And by writing and gamifying the process, and he gives himself a score for the week, for the month, for the year. So those type of behavior will make sure that you stay on track. Remember, guys, at the end of the day, motivation is only gonna last for a short term, okay? So you can be motivated for a day, you can go to an event and get motivation for a week. But if you wanna achieve great thing in your life, if you really wanna stay consistent and have everything you desire, you need to go from here to here. And how do we bridge the gap? By shifting your identity, by having discipline, by becoming that version of yourself. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Start applying the tricks and let me know if it helps you in your daily life. And if you need help in order to apply those tricks, you can reach out to me. I'll be pleased to let you know for the coaching, or you can also just start with the link below. There's a free course that you can do where I explain a lot. It's like over an hour of content for free that I give you more in detail on how to do this. So I'll see you in the next video.